All right, everybody, welcome back to the San Diego State Rebuild Series here on Madden 25. We are heading to the 2029 season, and we have the off-season to work through. The goal today is to go through the recruiting classes, see what we can find, and then try to get us a schedule that is going to be more balanced this year. So we kind of had like an easier schedule the previous one, or a decent one. Then we went to a very difficult schedule. Now my goal is I'm going to sprinkle like maybe one or two difficult teams, and the goal is to blow up and really have a more favorable schedule for these San Diego State Aztecs. I think that's how you typically try to do it when you build out a team. You don't want to get too wild, but I wanted to test my guys and see where we're at. So hoping we can get it done today. You know, when you look at this team right now and where we stand, you know, the quarterback situation, right? Dalton O'Neal will be gone. You got Melvin, you got Harms, and then we pretty much got to grow the rest of the class there. So a couple people are going to be leaving for sure. And then you look at the remainder of the guys that are here. The running back group wasn't as strong, but I think we have some guys that we're really paying attention to this year. Wayshawn Parker played okay, but he was not the definitive component for this team. I'd say the wide receiver core has played pretty well. I actually like a lot of them, and hopefully we'll see more in the near future. The tight end group is quite raw, not so dynamic, and we have to figure that out. But with Skaggs in this one here, my hope is that he's developing into something decent. We can probably be a pretty good player for us. The tackle situation, right? We're going to see Kraus as the main starter because Schroller will be gone. So hopefully we'll see something better there. Diupati, there's a chance he may stay, but we got a guy behind him that I'd like to kind of get going now and see what happens. And I believe we did redshirt Eric Lang. So what very good player there at center. Sampson will also be done, but we do got a guy here in Jose Wilkins that I think is a dog, man. I think he's going to be a nice piece that's going to start as a sophomore and be ready to roll. So this O-line is not going to be hurt at all. We still got Roman Singh at right guard, and in the right tackle spot, thank goodness Holick will be gone, and the sophomore Kevin Brooks will be ready to step up. We also got Donnell Mallard as another potential tackle, and some other recruits that we're looking at as well. We'll get to see Volk out there once again, a big dog, and Naylor again on the outside. You do got the DT. Carrington will be gone, but I think Carr, Wagner, Strong, and Zanega are going to be just fine. Upshaw played a little bit last season. We're going to see him kind of dog it out this year, man. I thought he played very well. Lozano is going to get an opportunity to play as well as a true freshman. Middle linebacker Trahan's still here, and Maddox, so I love that. But look at that, Zach Upshaw trying to get involved where he can. I got Upshaw everywhere, dude. That's the hope, is that we can kind of get this guy rolling all over the place. Bryce Kopp is got Gilliam behind him. Now the corners is where we're going to hurt, but the truth, what I really liked how Gupta played last year. He did so well to be that guy, and Buxton will be gone next season. After this season, after this off season, he's graduated. But Eifler is going to have to step up in a way that help us out in the slot corner role, along with Nading, and we're going to need to find another corner. And I'm hoping Matt Abel ends up being that guy on the outside. As you can see, I got a couple guys that are going to hopefully develop into something there. And then the free safety role, folks, this is where we're hurting. Costello will be there. Blackburn is gone, so we got to bring in, you know, hopefully these other free safeties here are ready to get involved. So we got some younger guys, but that's the whole point of having a easier schedule than what we kind of did. We kind of turned the gas on and a little too much, and you know, we got to work through that. I currently have 30 targets on the board, but my goal is to focus on 23 scholarships. So as you can see, I got some guys here. We're trying to revamp the quarterback crew. I think there's some pretty good guys there. There's a high school player in Kalen Lobato that'll be red-shirted. Hopefully he makes it out. Macca Masters is a 3-star right guard. We're trying to retool that O-line and get it right. But there's this other guy here, a high schooler in Devin Mondu. This guy, I am truly hoping ends up coming to the freaking Aztecs, because a 4-star recruit ready to roll. You know, there's going to be an opportunity for him to play real soon. He's already got all the stuff that shows pretty amazing stats, and I think with how he can play, he can do some damage for us, and hopefully that works out. You know, also in this episode, because of the recruiting, it's not going to be too long. I'm going to show everyone how I'm going to set up my new playbook, because we did bring in some new OC and DC, and we'll talk through that along in this one. We're trying to find a more dynamic tight end, and Ronald Peace is a guy I'm hoping ends up being a decent component there that we can continue to grow. I'm looking at a gem here in this halfback that looks very interesting, and the future is bright for the San Diego State Aztecs, and we're going to keep trying to develop O-line. That tends to be an issue across the board, but we're going to continue to see what it was. You know, it was not a great season. We finished 6-7, but like I said, I'm hoping for the best here, and there's a couple teams, it looks like, that don't want to be here, and that's tough, and hoping they decide to stay. Now, I think that should switch everyone out. Yep, so these are the guys that are out here right now. Harms is out there. Fernandez is out there. The wide receivers now have all been flipped. I think the O-line now should work through it. Yeah, Kraus is going to be playing left tackle. You got Singh playing right guard, which is not true. It should be Kern. Don't know why that's the case there. Center is Wilkins. See, we got two good centers that are going to grow along the way. They got Burnett, a freshman, playing that spot. That might not be a bad idea. So we'll have Singh play left guard, and we'll probably flip him to left guard. But that's not bad there. So we got some good O-linemen that are really there to go. We're going to get some really young guys here. Brooks, I'm excited for, man. I hope Brooks turns out to be a very good tackle for us. Like I said, it's tough to not see our guys there, but Zuniga and Trout, along with Strong and Carr, I think that's going to be a really good interior line. We got Kopp here, but I would like to see now I'm wondering, right? Because we got Upshaw. He's a fan favorite. I'd love to see Upshaw kind of play that side there. Trayan Maddox, that's good there. And then we'll let Carmona play the backup. And then as far as the other outside linebacker, Kopp is only a junior. But man, oh man, we got some really good players. We got this guy here, Dallas Ty. Like to see what he can do on the outside. So we got some young cats, but we're very short on corners. Nading is going to be playing mostly slot corner. Abel's going to have to play at the outside. So the corner crew is going to have to play real soon, folks. But, you know, we'll tweak that along the way there. So let's check out the rest of the recruiting here, see where we stand with it. We got 440 points, so we got quite a bit kind of mess with it right now. And I think the main one right that we want to continue to nail right is Fondue one, and it isn't a whole lot. Like we're trying to pitch this guy, and it is not easy. We do have a visit out there, and hopefully it'll drive him to come to San Diego State, but it may not be enough. Let's look at the gems first before we mess with anybody else. Oh no, what is this? Why did he doesn't want to play for us? We're locked. Oh, we didn't make the minimum. So there were some team players that it was like open, and I thought I was going to be able to make waves, but it doesn't look like that'll be the case. So there is a lot of players, folks, that are coming off the list here that unfortunately will not be able to bring them in. But let me look at this. We got a gem here. in Maka Masters, a right guard that I hope, continues to ends up being something good. This is what I like about NCAA, man, is like you can kind of retool this thing, and you can play this thing for a long time and change things up, and hopefully, right, like we'll continue to see that. I think, there's an opportunity to really build up this universe in a really cool way. I just wish you could import from the other side, man. How sweet would that be? JT Williams has a pretty good block shed to begin with as a transfer, 6'2", 337. So I'm hoping he kind of develops into something there. He matches the playing style. That should draw this man to San Diego State. Ronald Peace, this guy's got 81 catching. He's more of like a versatile type of tight end than he is anything else, and I'd like to see if we can bring him to San Diego State. It's still open, so maybe we shake it up enough to where this guy decides to come to San Diego. This wide receiver here, 6'5", 199. He's more of a project, and the hope is that we'll see him develop into something down the road. But 6'5", man, like you can't teach that, and hopefully the guy ends up being a beast down the road there. Got a possession guy. I think this is the tight end that I was really interested in, and looks like we're still on the outside looking in, so hopefully we can make a break here for him. That would be sweet there. Still got a couple points here. Mario Stevens, a free safety. He's the gem. He is a high school recruit. Maybe we can bring him in. Maybe we make it. You got VC here, who's not really too much of a priority. I always want to scan these guys, but I don't think I'm going to try to kill it too much. He's not necessarily the end-all be-all. Now, left tackle is always tough, and 6'7", 304 is like an interesting trait that I thought, ooh, he's a gem. He's a gem. So I'm wondering if we flip this guy, give him 5. We just say, hey, we'll try him there, and then give him that. See, I think Feeney will come to us because he's a 1-star. No one's really looking at him. So I think that's a good start right there. I think our class is not necessarily the greatest of recruiting classes, but I think we can do some stuff here. Unfortunately, Mondu has gone to Nebraska. That hurts a lot, Hope that he would stay, but that is, or consider us, but that's rough right there. Looks like we're getting some other guys though, and that one's tough. So we're going to be looking at some 3 stars, which is not the end of the world there. Got some visits here. Lobato, let's bring him in. I'm going to think championship contender, because we're going to really tweak that schedule, dude. I really want that schedule to be so freaking easy, or not so freaking, but I want to really broadcast our guys' abilities, because I think if we would have done that, we would have had a quarterback or a wide receiver really shape up to be something special. So got about 70 points, and looks like he's the leader, and I want to throw 50 on him because I think he might surprise people. How's it looking there? We're not really making any progress on that, so we're gonna shut that down. Mario Stevens looks like he's good there. We got everyone. Hoping for everyone. Too bad. Let's look at another prospect here, right? Transfer portal. Looks like we're 7th there. I'm going to try for Amano. I'm always trying to build out the D-line. See if Amano wants to come to San Diego State. He's a Reno, Nevada true. He's a freshman redshirt. That's screaming possibilities here. Actually, this, and let's just do a quick scout point on him so that, see, maybe a little bit of indicator here. Maybe he decides to, he's got some stats. So the off season, like I said, is never too crazy. It's not like the free agency market in Madden where you kind of see a play out. Like what I'm seeing so far. No one is signed though, folks. This is insane. No one has signed. Oh no, Blade, the 6'5" junior, is upset with us, I guess. So here's what I'd like to do. Let's do a big hard sell here. That's it right there. I'm hoping that's going to be enough to change this guy's ways. We got some visits. Bolaire, wide receiver, 5'8". I think this guy had some interesting speed to him too. Yeah, 96 speed. Bring him in, dog. Bring him in. Proximity to home. He's out of Covina. Actually, he used to live there. It's like near LA, about 25 miles outside of LA. Let's see here. Let's look at this one. Looks like Lobato hopefully decides to come to San Diego State. Yolito also looks like he's ready to roll. Von Shelley's a halfback. And exposure. Coach prestige. Let's see if that's enough to draw this man to San Diego State. Paredes, 6'5", 199. Bring him in for a visit. Texas is not far enough. Ooh. Oh man, there's not enough. I guess we just do proximity to home, I guess. Where he technically doesn't want to be home. I don't know what that's about. Tight end here, Jose. Or Cesar Jose here. Proximity to home. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona. Finney wants to... He's good to go there. Mario Steven. Can't draw him in, huh? Ooh. It's going to be tough right there. Ronald Peace. Not ready for a visit. Eric Valerio. Mana. Yeah, so we're going to try to see if we can draw Mana in. Yep. Oh, wow. He wants to play for San Diego State. That's sweet. See if that's enough points to do that. We got about 35 points left. And I'm going to see if we can bring in the middle linebacker here out of the transfer portal. Lloyd Michaels. He hasn't made a decision yet. Not that crazy. He'll be like a backup. We'll try, man. I'm shocked I don't have enough people to transfer in. That's really insane. Do we bring in the recruits, folks? This is tough. So, Macca Masters has joined. Chad Vallert from Covina has joined. Eli Feeney, okay. The one-star made it. Ronald Peace made it. Eric Valerio, the tight end, made it. Enrique Amano made it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Dalton committed to USC. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know if we got enough recruits. Go to National Signing Day. And let's see who did not make the list. So Blade didn't sign for us. Paredes unfortunately went to Kansas. So we got 22 recruits. And definitely want to see what they all look like. So Floyd Michaels last second came over. Norm Dev. We'll have him play special teams, but that's not a bad setup for him. He's only a junior, so next year we'll have him. Enrique Amano, a left end. We just tried it out and it worked out. So he's got a Norm Dev, a free safety with a gem on it. I love this, 90 speed. So we needed a free safety. He's going to probably play immediately. You're looking at JT Williams. He's normal dev, but as a junior coming in, I'm hoping he's going to work through it. Impact dev. We're just going to let Eli Feeney develop and he'll be ready to roll when we need him. Eric Valerio, a possession tight end, I believe. Impact dev trait there. Cesar Jose is going to be a norm dev. Valerio, same thing. Von Shelley, the halfback's a star dev. Hoping that guy can grow into something. Yolito is an impact dev. Love that. Ronald Peace, the tight end, is a norm dev. Maka Masters is a star dev. Kalen Lobato, a running back, is going to be norm dev there. 6'4" quarterback. He's going to be a norm dev. We got a JUCO sophomore here, norm dev right guard. Levanta Ty, impact dev, love it. Glenn Brown, the 4-star, is a star, so it's going to be nice to see him develop and be redshirted because we got enough guys ready there. Kona Bata is a norm dev. Johnny Verrett is a star dev as a running back. 4-star. Amir Bichelli is an impact dev. We didn't even look this guy's stats up. We just went for him. Barry Hurley, another right end there. So these guys are going to develop and be ready to roll. And then we got a 3-star JUCO transfer impact dev. So we got some guys, man. I think that's not a bad spot. We're about one under the need. So it is what it is there. But we want to try to tool this out, right? So when you look at the quarterback situation here, Harms could technically play wide receiver. If you were to convert him to wide receiver, what would that do for the team? Because there isn't too many wide receivers available. Is Harms going to be that QB for us? I don't really think so. I think Harms is not going to be the guy. I think we're going to see some other QBs kind of step up, and it might be Melvin, or he might just throw in the freshman there and just let it roll. So with that being said, I think what we're going to do here is we're gonna tweak this. We can move it to a deep threat. How sweet would that be? Be a 70 overall wide receiver, and he's currently a 74 overall guy right now. So if you tweak it, he's got injury concerns too. So I don't know. 92 speed. He's got the throw power. I think we're gonna keep him there. I thought about it because he could play wide receiver. The running back situation there, not really too worried. It looks like Bata doesn't have the big speed. He's a power back, more like it. But I don't need him to be fast. I just need him to be a bulldozer. Wide receiver aspect, not really worried there. And look at all the tight ends we have now. This is sweet. So now I don't have to worry about tight ends ever again. The left tackle situation, we got a couple here. So Feeney's at 53, but we're going to let him develop, and when he's a senior, he'll be ready to roll. As these guys are in front of him, I don't think I'm going to need any crazy left tackles down the road. Left guard here is Eric Lang. There's Eric Lang there, and then Wilkins is here. Oh, wow, Perezzo is a 6. Right guard is Singh. Burnett. I think we're good there. Burnett's just going to be right behind him, and when he's ready to roll, he's ready to, I mean, could we move him in? Wonder if I can move Burnett to center. Being 84 overall, that's big. He'll upgrade. So we got a good, yeah, look at that. We got O-line for, that's awesome. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. A junior here. Junior for, yeah, I'm not worried about tackles. Got Brooks. What do I have here? We got a Jennings behind him. So we actually got a decent amount of tackles. So I'm not as worried as I once was initially. The left end situation, Pfeiffer, he doesn't have crazy speed. He's 6'4", 224. So if you move him to DT, he'd be a 79 overall. You move him over to the power rush side. But if you move him to linebacker, he'll be an 83 overall. Okay, and then you got Waga. He'll have an opportunity to step up. Right end, Nailers there. Trout, 6'4", 258. Or if we move him to outside line. So if we move him to the opposite side, he'll be an 84. Oh, because it fits his scheme. Oh, wow. So what's this? He's a run stopper. He's a 75 overall. Move him to the opposite side, will be a 79. What the heck? Wow, okay. Didn't even think about this stuff. Augustine's a power rusher. So he's a 78 overall. You moved him to outside linebacker. I think you move him over to the opposite side, he'll be... So we got some dogs now. I love this. Nice to see that. The DT situation, I think, is in a good spot. Juan Morales, we're going to see him kind of play out there as well. Left outside linebacker, Lozano. It's a run stopper. So what if we flipped him to the opposite side? He's 78 overall. That end. Wow, I didn't even think about that. So we just flip him to that side. And then over here, 84, so that's where Gilliam to the other side. Wow, that's kind of nuts. What Pfeiffer? So Pfeiffer's there. Lozano's there. Wow, look at Bocelli. He's gonna be a dog. Corner situation. Hopefully these guys. We got all. Yeah, we got safeties. Okay, so I'm not as worried. They're not gonna be as great, but at least they'll be out there. I just needed bodies, man. Camacho still doing his thing, and so is Ivy. So we flipped the players the way we needed to. Glad to see that. I don't think I can redshirt anybody yet. All right, so we'll go ahead and flip it now. Let's get past the signing day and let's roll through it here. So Lang wants to transfer out. Why? Be upset, I guess. So, but let's check out the training results, see where everyone stands. So from a quarterback standpoint here, Blank is going to be ahead. Look at that. He popped ahead of Harms and Melvin, and he's going to be ready to roll. He is a impact dev. He's got mobile deadeye. He's an improviser. All his stats show like this guy could be pretty good for us. He's got the team player, improved ability to play out of position, increased composure, games at home, mobile deadeye. Love that. We're gonna make him a captain. So Jaquez Blank is ready to play and ready to roll there. Matthews, Max Matthews ends up being the highest overall running back, and I'm assuming Fernandez might be maxed out. Is that what's going on here? Nope. Don't know why Fernandez is not ahead of everyone, but the freshman is going to get an opportunity to ball out. Got Stewart here, who's moved up to a 79 overall. Love to see that. He's got potential, man. It was nice to have him play last year. I thought he did pretty well. Our fullback moved up to a 72. Vince Jasmine here. I like pretty much maxed out his capabilities. The wide receiver goal, Stokes. 6'2", 194 receiver has surpassed De La Rosa and Higdon. And that's what you figured. Like, these guys were maxed out. I believe they were capped out. And, they're seniors now. And I think Stokes is still going to play that slot role. But Higdon, there was just not much more this guy can grow into, unfortunately. Atwell's in a 77. Valert is the senior that transferred over. So we're going to see some guys taking some chances here today. Skaggs has moved up to an 83 overall. So Skaggs is ready to roll. Willie has moved up. That's pretty cool to see there. So Skaggs is going to step up. Ibarra is going to move down, and Thorne along with Willie. So Jeff Willie has moved up. Rouse is an 83 overall tackle now, but when you look at the other guys that are behind him, they're going to be ready to roll real soon. But that's good to see the left tackle there. Lang is an 88 overall. I'm not quite sure why he doesn't want to play for us, so I'm hoping the winning will get it done. Burnett, we moved him over, and the guy is a freaking 86 overall now. I thought I moved Jose Wilkins over, so Burnett surpassed him So Wilkins, he's got more. Yeah, both these guys are pretty bossy though. And then Singh is an 86 with Jefferson behind him. You're looking at the right tackle, Brooks. The sophomore is an 82, but Mallard's not too far behind him. And look at Rivera. Rivera's growing into something. Volk is a 91 overall. You got Trout and Augustine up at 86. Look at Naylor, 90. Woo, Valawaga. Man, we got some bosses, dog. DT spot looks really strong now. Left outside linebacker, Gilliam is an 85 overall with Tide an 83. Look at Trahan, 90. Ooh, baby. Trahan is a boss, dog. This is a very good player. He's so freaking slick. It's going to be his senior year, so I hope he balls out. You got Maddox here. Maddox is a 90 overall. And I'm going to make this guy captain. I thought he played pretty well for us last year. So it's another 4-star cat that's played well. And then you got Upshaw, who just plays everywhere. Another 4-star guy. He loves playing. And, I'm going to have him play everywhere, man. I really want Upshaw to be out there no matter what. So maybe we'll move Trahan to the outside. He's 6 foot. We got some smaller guys, but maybe move Upshaw to the outside. Get him going. Try that out there. Right outside linebacker, Kopp is an 84 overall. Pfeiffer's is 79. Nading's an 88. Gupta's an 88. So I think it was someone else that was above them. And it's really good to see that they have developed and they're ready to kill it. Costello, free safety, is an 85 overall. Love that. Ivory. Yeah, so the freshmen that we redshirted have developed pretty well. Mims, an 82 overall with Flanagan. So we got some good players. We got some really good players, man. Nice to see that happening there. The training results look really well. Now we're going to check out, I believe, the custom schedule. Is that how they're going to look at it? Or do we have to encourage anyone to leave? I don't think we have to. I think we got everyone we need. Oh, we're at 88. So who would we encourage to leave, right? We got quarterbacks here. Do we encourage Harms to leave or Melvin? Not necessarily. I think the halfback stuff, like, do we say goodbye to anybody here? I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to have some guy leave there. Higdon, no thank you. Tight ends. The only one I thought about moving on from is Ibarra. I liked him, but I think you're going to have to move on from him and let another tight end roll there. Tackles, I don't see that happening. I think the O-line is pretty well. We got a lot of sophomores and stuff too, and that's the thing that's tough. It's like, who do you let go? And I think you let go of someone that's never going to really have a shot at taking a team here. You got a junior in Sang, but if something happened to him, I gotta be smart there. Got a lot of defensive ends. This is such a nice thing to have. So you got Morales as a 69 overall, and he's not the greatest stat, but I think what I'm going to do is JT Williams is going to get redshirted, and I'd like to have him next year. So I don't want to tweak that. Roche is a junior. I think Roche is probably the guy that we're going to encourage to leave. We got a ton of middle linebackers here. Armona is probably not going to make it. Wish him the best of luck. So we encourage the guys that we wanted to leave now. As far as customizing the conferences here, one of the things I wanted to do is see if we can add a little bit more, right? So we got Pac-12 guys. Every one of these players are pretty clean. Oh man, that's gonna be fun. I really want to play against Notre Dame this season too. Is there any one of these teams we'd like to move out and maybe move somewhere else? Not really. I think the conferences are in a decent spot for this year, so we don't necessarily have to tweak that. We'll advance it here. I think I can redshirt people in this stage. So Lang really wants to leave, man. It's crazy. Yeah, so we got the recruits right here. So let's customize the schedule real quick. So they got us going against Oklahoma, and I don't want to do that too early. I'd like to go against a team that makes a little more sense for us from the get. So I want to get like a warm-up group, right? Team that I'm not sweating so much, and I think we can play against the Monarchs. We can go to their house. Now Nebraska, I mean, they're okay, but again, it's about trying to tweak this thing to where we're going to play against some okay teams, but I'm not about trying to wreck this team from the get. So I really want to try a schedule that's going to give me an opportunity to show our skills, get some stats up, and really try to play it to where, man, we're going to have a shot at really wrecking some things. So want to try, let's see. We're going to go Arkansas State there. Play at our house. You got Navy there. I'd rather not play Navy. Rather go against maybe not the craziest of teams. Maybe we try the Indiana Hoosiers there. Louisiana Tech is there. You got an FCS team. West Virginia. So we played against Penn State before. I'd like to see, let's go to the SEC. Who would we like to take on here? So you got the Gamecocks there. Mountain West, American, Independent. I'd like to see us go against a bigger ranked team, but a team we haven't gone against yet. Number 8, Iowa. Oh, that would actually be a really fun game to check out. So we're going to play against Iowa in week number 7 in their house. West Virginia. It's not a bad team to go against. Yeah, that's the, see, some of these teams that are like not crazy ranked, they're a little deceptive. Oh yeah, we ain't doing that to ourselves. See, we would have went. Nebraska's a 4-star, under the radar type of deal. We'll go James Madison. You got TCU here. You got Stanford and Colorado. I'd like to sprinkle one more ranked team here. And man, I don't know about that, dude. That sounds psychotic. I mean, UCLA playing in their house. Is that gonna be in their house? Or yeah, it's at their house. At the Rose Bowl, I think that would be fun. So that's a pretty good schedule right there. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to have a softer schedule up front. Old Dominion in Arkansas. Then we got Indiana, who's a ranked team. Maybe they'll be ranked by the time we get to us. Who knows? Louisiana Tech, followed by FCS West and James Madison. Then we got Iowa, a ranked team, pretty solid group playing in their house. That'll be a cool stadium to check out. We got Utah State and Colorado State, followed by UCLA. In week number 10, Stanford, bye, and then California. So that'd be kind of neat. You know, we're still getting there, but our defense is looking solid. So love to see that. Love to see our schedule. Hopefully it kind of works out to where it fits that way. We can start redshirting some guys, so I want to make sure we knock that out real quick. I'll take care of that. We'll be right back. So the playbook we're going to be using is pro style, generic, and then a 3-2-6 defense. So it takes a 3-4 adjustment of swapping defensive linemen for a linebacker, and it takes even further by adding 2 extra defensive backs in the mix. So we're going to see a lot of safety or DB situations here. So kind of wanted to show a little bit of how we're going to build that out. So in the custom playbook side, you want to, tweak what you can here, and we're going to try to get ourselves over to the playbook of what we want to mess with. So pro style is a little different than what we use. We use a lot of veers and stuff in the past. When you set up the playbook here, you can kind of check the audibles, see what you would like to be called out there for different sets. You can pick up the 4 different ones, and it's kind of like, what do you want to tweak? What would you like it to look like? And each playbook has their own sets and stuff in there, so you're not always going to get all the plays that you like, and you can add some plays if you want, but my goal here is to just kind of tweak some of these things along the way, and I'd love to see play calls that make a whole lot of sense for us. So I don't like calling plays that are a little too out of the ordinary, or plays that I'm never going to choose to audible to. And play action to me doesn't really fit on a lot of these plays or a lot of these setups there, but most of the audibles kind of make sense. But like I said, my goal is to use use a audible that is something that fits me. So that, you know, you can kind of tweak that here, but this is the main part that I want to focus on, is around the first, like the game plan itself. So you can actually set up the game plan based on the stars. The higher the weight that you have on it, the more likely it's going to get called based on that certain scenario here. So you always want to mess with it and kind of pick the plays that you want to try out and see what would work. And coach suggestions is what I prefer to mess with, but you know, if there's a play in here that I like, I'll keep it. If there's not, I'll remove it. And you can do that with Square. And I really think like these mesh concepts in the pro stock can really get us going, get these guys kind of messing with you know, preparing for being in the NFL. And hopefully we'll see that. We're going to have a freshman playing in there now, and in the backfield, so it's not going to be like the normal stuff. It's not going to be easy to get into this style, but I think the more we have these options, the more chance maybe we can draw some other people to want to come to San Diego State and play for us. So this is how you kind of tweak it along the way. You just pick out the different plays that you want to mess with, that you would like to see out there. I do not add different plays off other playbooks because my goal is to just play within what we have. So I try to stick with being a little more realistic. I know some people, you know, they'll customize their book and they'll bring in all the crazy cheese plays and stuff. But for me, I don't even hot route against the CPU in this series. So like my goal is to just really, you know, see if I can play within the constraints that the game allows me to be in. So it's not easy, definitely not. It's fun for me, because then that forces you to have to use different QBs. I mean, different OCs and DCs and stuff. You can't just rock the same playbook. Although there, you know, I am aware of some of the books that are out there that are pretty strong and have good options for you. I just would rather just kind of try it out and see if we can get this done here. I got to be better with play action, but first down, I really don't try to mess with that. 2-minute defense, 2-minute offense really is about trying to get the ball down the field. So I'm not too worried about this spot, but this is how you tweak it. You kind of set it up. I usually try to put it at 2.5 stars because that allows the chances of those plays being called pretty evenly versus not being called at all. So it's just one of those things that I'd mess with. But we'll jump into you know, the last recruiting portion of before we end the episode. But I just wanted to show you all that's how you kind of tweak the playbook. So I decided we're only going to customize the playbook on the offensive side. I think the defensive side, we're just going to try to tweak it along the way and kind of make the play calls, because those aren't really very team oriented. It's just the scheme itself. But what I'd like to do here, though, is check out the prospects that are out there, right? We have 750 points now with this new crew, and you got to think about what you need. So we need 28 players in the upcoming off season. It looks like we're going to need some quarterbacks, potentially wide receivers. Looks like we got 6 there, but it looks like we're going to need a little bit more tackles, some guards on the offensive side. On the defensive side, it looks like we're going to need a whole lot more group there. So it looks like every bar, or the second level and third level of the defense is 100% needed. So we're going to tweak that along the way. We fortunately do not need anything on special teams, so that's cool here. So when you look at the prospect list, you can grab a ton of players here, but what I'm always looking at is who wants to be here first. And there are 2 players that would like to be here. And and I'm just going to kind of select them immediately. Got a 4-star in Soma Ta'amu from Mesa, Arizona. I would love to play for the San Diego State Aztecs, so that's cool there. We got Daniel Centeo. So there's some 2-stars here. There's another 4-star free safety I'd like to bring in. I definitely want to look at, again, it's about making sure that we're tweaking and looking at the right kind of players here, and we'll scan it and go from there. Got a power rusher that would love to play for us at 3. Got a left end here. Got some more QBs that are within our range in the 4. You got our tackle. I would like to look at a tight end as well. Another middle linebacker would be a good, sweet move right there. You got a outside linebacker. Another DT. We don't really need another DT, but might have to take a chance on that. But that, we're going to select some of these guys and kind of talk through it. But, that's the recommended one. What I'd like to do is check out the top prospects and who would like to play for us. And there's a ton of teams that have us on their radar. So I want to select these guys. It's not a 100% chance, but I say, why the hell not, man? Why not take a chance with some of these guys and see if we could snag them up? Those are the top prospects. No 5-star would like to play for us, unfortunately, but I'm gonna try to snag up some of these guys right here. You got a scrambler. Don't really want to mess with that. I mean, he's out of Florida too, so Draper looks like he's within our pipeline. The left tackle probably gonna be rough there. You got Kinder that's in our pipeline. You got Castillo. So we're gonna try these 21 prospects here and kind of check them out and go from there. But I'll mess with this before we end the episode. So this is where we'll leave it, folks. The San Diego State Aztecs, their first game will be against Old Dominion. Like I said, the goal here now is to get this team right. I want to have a very dominant schedule, a dominant winning schedule for us. Hope is that this might be the schedule that can get us there. Really want to see what my team can do. I believe we got some really good guys on the squad, right? And beginning of this series, we had some injuries coming up, but I think this team has some really good pieces. And with the new playbook, that'd be really fun to kind of see how that looks like for us. We're going to see Blank out there over Harms. Now, there's a chance, right, that we may let Harms kind of play if we see Blank not ready yet, but I'd like to try it out. Stewart's going to get an opportunity to start over Max Matthews, but that's still going to be fun to me, in my opinion. The wide receiver group is going to be led by Higdon and De La Rosa, but we're going to see some other guys get an opportunity like Volert playing in the slot. The tight end group, I think Thorne, despite him having some issues with his overall, I think he's a pretty versatile tight end that can work out. And Skaggs is more of a like a blocking tight end, so he's not the fastest guy. I believe the O-line's in a good spot. Singh's going to start, and hopefully he'll be happy to do so there. Lang as well, and I hope they want to play for us, but we never know. This O-line's a little younger, but I really believe they can work out because the defensive line on the other side looks freaking dominant. We're going to see some stats, in my opinion, that can really shoot up. And this was a guy that was shocked. Dallas Ty, who's a left outside linebacker, we shifted him to right, and he's a 94 overall freaking linebacker now. So I'm hoping that guy really pops off the way we need him to. I think Sua Gupta has played very well for us last year as a corner, as a freshman redshirt, and now he's ready to roll. And then we got some good senior safeties as well. So we're going to try anything and everything to have this team succeed. And I believe we can. But that'll do it for us today, everybody. If you like what you saw, please drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and most importantly, subscribe to keep up with the series. I appreciate everyone that stopped by. Y'all have yourself a good one. And as always, let's go Aztecs.